Hey everybody, welcome to Nurse Strong. I'm your host Nikki.
I'm Alicia, and today we have a special guest. We have one of our favorite nurses, Jessika, with us today. So, Jessika is a super nurse.
Many talents.
I don't know.
And so we just want to highlight Jessika. She is a great example of Nurse Strong and what we try to represent and what we try to highlight with our platform. And so we just want to ask Jessika, Jessika, tell us how you got here, because you were not one of the, Nikki went straight into nursing after high school, but how did you get to be a nurse?
Okay, so I have a very interesting story. My first degree, and I look young, but I'm a lot older than I am, but my first degree is in music. So I have a bachelor's in music. I played the upright bass for 16 years. Played with the Valdosta Symphony Orchestra, played with the Georgia Albany Symphony Orchestra, Columbus, and then Douglasville Christian Community Orchestra for a little bit before I went into nursing. I always had a gift with my hands, and I always wanted to do massage, kind of like do some type of music therapy, using music with healing and stuff like that. And things just, you plan out your life, and then other things happen. And one of the things that I learned is, in the process, I have myself to think of, and then I have other people to think of.
Right.
And when I decided to do music, I thought, okay, I'm going to be a musician, and I'm going to play for the Boston Symphony Orchestra, and I'm just going to have my own jazz band, and I'm going to, tour with Ray Brown and all those cats. And as life went on, halfway through school, I realized that everything that I wanted to do is not what God wanted me to do.
Right.
Yes.
So I was in a place where I couldn't keep my instrument with me, and of course, when college is out, you can't really stay on campus. And I couldn't keep my instrument where I was living because it was too small. My instrument, I'm a bass player. My instrument's like 6 feet tall, and I'm not.
Right.
So I had to keep it at the church. So I was at the church, and I was practicing, because of course you're supposed to practice. And I just got frustrated. I was like, oh, Lord, what do you want me to do? Because obviously I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Right.
And I literally got there and I wrote a letter. I was like, I don't like this. This is awful. God, you what? And then, and then I wrote out 2 pages worth of all my frustrations, because he says to come to him, right?
Yeah. Right.
So I sat there, and it was quiet and cold because it was wintertime. And then I hear in a still small voice, just serve me. Get a bachelor's. Just serve me. And I'm like, what? So I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. So 2.5 years later from that point, I graduate. I meet my husband to be, and I graduate and get married, move to Atlanta. And I'm thinking, okay, so I'm going to go do massage. And he's like, no, because that's not going to give us a lot of money. That's, you're doing music, and I was still doing music, and that's when I was playing for the different orchestras, for more or less chump change sometimes, because whenever you play on the weekends, if you're not in a professional orchestra like the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra, you don't get a salary. You play per weekend, and then they pay you, if you had a 4-day weekend where you have 3 rehearsals and 2 performances, that might be $400.
Wow.
So nowadays, $400 doesn't get you very far.
Right.
So I was looking for something else, and he's like, no, I don't really want you to do massage. So I was doing research, and I found a site of nurses who were also massage therapists. So they had been around for 28 years, and by the time I went back to school to become a nurse, I was already a massage therapist, but they had not really gone out of business, but their organization kind of closed because of the way things had changed.
Right.
So finally I started out nursing school. I was in LPN school, and then halfway through I flunked, and that sucked.
Nursing school is hard. It's hard. It's not easy.
It is very hard. It's very hard. So this is the part where I'm going to tell you that I'm dyslexic. Dyslexia is a neurological they call it a learning disability, but it's something in the brain where it doesn't connect.
Right.
So where someone will see a word and the B faces this way, for someone who's dyslexic, depending on the severity of dyslexia, they see it the other way. And my problem was never with math. And dyslexia also affects people with math skills as well as reading skills. And mine is about reading skills. So my comprehension of being able to read a piece of paper and then also memorize that information was very difficult for me. And they didn't really discover that I had dyslexia until I was in 6th grade. They just assumed, oh, well, she comes from a Cuban background or Hispanic background, so it's because she lives in a bilingual home that she's not understanding English. And that was never the case.
Wow.
It was because my M's, my W's, my N's, they all look the same to me. B's, P's, and D's, they all look the same to me. And it took me a long time to discover how to fix that. So nursing school, oh my gosh. Here, read this book.
Right, nursing school's already
Don't
hard.
kill anybody.
Right.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I supposed to do? So unfortunately, I flunked out. So I went back to the idea of massage. Babe, I'll be really good at it. How you doing? So, but like, he's like, no, we don't want to. Finally, I went to several different schools, and I finally took him to a school called Asha School of Massage, which unfortunately they're no longer in Atlanta because of federal funding. And I drug him, like kicking and screaming, drugging him to this thing. So we're there, and then it finally gets to the point, we tour the school, we hear the teachers, and he kind of looks at me. We're sitting in a circle. We're sitting in a circle, and he looks at me. He goes, "You need to go here." And at first I was like, excuse me, where'd you put my husband? Because he wasn't into this before. So I went, graduated top of my class, go work for a spa. Oh, that spa is so wonderful. Not for me, people. Give me the nitty gritty. You've been in a car accident, come to me, I'll fix you. So it was just like, and I learned all this stuff about the spa, the scrubs that make you feel so nice, and I'm just like, okay, this is just not for me. So literally one whole year, March 15th I was hired, March 17th the following year, I was like, yeah. So in the midst of all that, I also I tried to go back into nursing school, and I didn't get a chance to. So I became a nurse aide, a certified nurse aide. Now, to all you out there about certified nurse aides, they are important people. Please don't treat them like that.
Extremely important.
They will be the first ones to catch your patient if they fall to the ground. They will be the first person to assist your patient while you're busy trying to save another patient.
Right.
So it was nice knowing that even though I was going for my LPN, I started at the bottom and I'm working my way up.
Right.
So as a nurse aide, I had the opportunity of working at the Shepherd Center here in Atlanta.
I love the Shepherd. I volunteered there before.
It is so much fun. You would have patients that have the same exact injury, but two totally different recoveries. I got to see a lot of stuff there, and I worked for them for about 2.5 years before I ended up moving to back to Valdosta, and worked at South Georgia Medical Center as a nurse aide in the ICU. So in there, I got to see everything. And I went back to nursing school. So I in Georgia, unfortunately, the way Georgia does things, you have to wait 5 years anytime that you flunk out of nursing school, which kind of sucks.
I didn't know that either. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it kind of sucks sometimes because all those, your microbiology, your A&E and stuff like that, you have to repeat it, and it's good that you repeat it because only a few things change, but overall, it just made me a stronger therapist because, kid you not, I've taken A&P 5 whole times, and not because I'm dumb, but because school required it.
I think I did too. I think I've taken A&P 1, 2, at least 3 times.
Yeah.
The first time in undergrad, I was partying. I had it on Friday. I had AMP Friday morning, and I started partying in college Thursday night. So that Friday morning class,
wow.
I just didn't go. I straight failed it, not because I didn't know, because I was partying.
Right.
And then I went back and took it for real, and I got an A. But then 5 years had passed since when I went back to nursing school. I had to take it again.
And you had to do it again.
Yep.
Yeah. So, gosh, and what? Yeah, I'm just gonna have to take it again. I wish I could just like test out of it. And I'm like, dude, I know where the heart's at. Duh.
Yeah.
You know, it's here-ish. So, I applied for RN school, and I'm going. Get halfway through, and because of my dyslexia, and this time I tried to like get all my stuff ahead of time, sorted out. One question, I was so mad. One question, I flunked one question, and you flunked nursing school, and I was like, dang gummit, again, this is awful. So now I'm 2 strikes are out. You know, what am I gonna do? Right. I found a loophole. Went to school. I needed nutrition. I'm like, why would I need nutrition? That really doesn't have to do anything with nursing, but okay, fine, whatever. So I had to take a nutrition class, and the May course or May quarter, that 4 weeks of intense, you know, you have to put something in. It had 1 position left. I got it. So I'm like, okay, God, you told me to do this. So let's go. So I get it, and then I ended up getting the alternate letter, and I was like, oh man, this sucks. It was like, thank you, you're, you know, number 13 out of 12 students, yada, 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 yada. I was like, okay, fine. I'm planning to go on vacation. I get a phone call. 2 people dropped out. You want it? I'm like, yes, I'll be right there. Monday morning, okay. And sure enough, I was so excited. I'm walking in with my book, and I have a phone, and I have a stuff, and I'm just sitting there, so ready to go. And like, the teacher was like, so this is just an orientation class. We're just going to get to know each other. And I'm like, oh, okay. I thought we were just going to dive right in. Okay, fine. So then 12 months later, I had to study, like I was on it for my dyslexia. So I had to have private testing, extended testing, or extended time on my testing, because it takes me a while to go through all my questions. And then also sometimes now they do a lot of the questions and a lot of testing on the computer. So you can't exactly take
paper and pen test.
Did you? Oh, well, this time it was on the computer, so you couldn't take, you know, like that piece of paper and go, okay, I have to read this question and this question, nothing else. Because sometimes, you know, I'm like, squirrel, oh, look, something over here. Oh, wait, I'm supposed to read this. So I had to, like, work extra hard on it. I had to wear earplugs so I can just block out the world. And one of my teachers one time, one of the final exams was the pharmacology.
Gosh, it's like a foreign language.
It is. It is. Like, you know, I love when patients go, well, what does this do? And I'm like, I don't know. But let me find out for you. Click. Oh, that's your water pill. Is that the one that makes me pee a lot? Yes, sir.
Yes, it is.
So I do the test. My teacher comes out. I'm like the first one to finish. This almost never happens. I'm the first one to finish. My teacher comes out of her office. She goes, do you know what your score is? And I'm like, no. Did I do, like, I'm preparing for the worst. Because by this time, I flunked once, I flunked twice. I'm preparing for the worst. She goes, you made a 1098 out of all that. I was like, excuse me, what? Are you sure that's my name on there?
Right.
No, yeah. I that was like the best score that I had. So I'm like, holy cow, I know medicines. I won't kill anybody. Yay! Or, you know, hurt someone. So I get through school, I get it done, I graduate, finally. I am a licensed practical nurse and a massage therapist. I work weekends. No. Give me money. I need to pay for my house. No. But that's where I started. Like this is like I started in 2004. So I started in 2004 for nursing. got my massage in 2006 to 2007. Been practicing. I've been a licensed massage therapist since 2007. I'm nationally certified, so I can go to any state. All I have to do is take whatever test they want for that particular state or whatever classes that they have. So I'm nationally certified. I went back, got my nursing.
That's awesome.
I sing to patients. That's how I use my music degree. No, no, I ended up selling my instrument to pay for nursing school the second time, which unfortunately I'm not an RN, but that's okay. We're working on it. So yeah, many talents.
Yeah,
Quite the journey.
yeah, that's very encouraging. Like I didn't know that was your journey, but that's great. I always say every nurse has a story, and that's why I'm so passionate about people telling, because you have nurses, you know, you work in EP, so you're not necessarily at the bedside, but you see a lot of people in what you do, and nurses are such great dynamic people filled with so many talents and so many things that it just infuriates me when we get put into a box, into cliche roles, and you know, I'm like, do you know what you know, the life experiences that are there to help you? Like you said, God told you to do that, and you did that. So I just want people to know who they have helping them. You know, like that's awesome. I'm very passionate about that.
Yeah.
So.
And it's really important for people to understand that nursing is not just here I'm going to go work in the hospital. No,
Right.
everything is very specialized.
Yeah.
I have a friend of mine, like, I'm more of a blood and guts kind of girl. So whenever I do get the chance to go back and get my RN, I will probably go critical care. I wouldn't mind doing neonatal,
I love neonatal.
which is your babies. You got your pediatrics and then you got your babies. Neonatal wound care would be interesting. I wouldn't mind going back to, like, you know, Shepherd Center type deal. But that's just a small little tiny portion of nursing. You have geriatric.
So
people have a heart for old people. I'm not one of them.
All people love me.
There's people who love psych. I'm definitely not one of them.
I love psych.
I was just like, man, the stories we can tell you from the ICU alone, and we had, no joke. Okay, any story I tell you on here, here's the disclaimer. It is true. Nothing has been exaggerated. All the names have been changed. But like 3 o'clock in the morning, I hear, Davey! And then I'm like, what is going on? And then this guy, 4 or 5 rooms down, what? Come here! I can't! The chickens got me! Chickens?
How can you not love psych?
Yeah, because she had baby snakes. Baby snakes, the chickens were gonna get the man, and then you had the baby snakes. And I'm blood and guts, baby. Blood and guts. I don't mind, you know, let me suction that, pat it, let me press on. But cray, not my favorite.
So how do you think, like, all of that, so like your whole journey, massage therapy, just how do you think that plays into how you care now? Because I feel like everybody has a specialized, you know, way of caring, and we spoke previously about branding yourself, and a person has a nurse brand. So how do you feel like all of those experiences kind of play into how you care now?
So my I do have a website through the American Massage Therapy Association, and on there I kind of talk about what I do. So I believe in nursing, or just in healthcare, you have your alternative medicine. So that's your Western side. That's that's your Eastern side of medicine, of herbs and body healing and taking care of oneself and being more aware of what's going on with you. And then you have your Western side, which is modern medicine, which you have your medicines, your procedures and stuff like that. And I feel the two go hand in hand, because a lot of times we have great medicines, we have great surgeries, but sometimes that's not just what you need. It has to be something more, because I can throw all the medicine to you, But if you don't know how to take care of yourself, then it's not going to do you any good.
That's true.
It's all about self-care and being more aware of, okay, this is what's going on. So you said earlier, I'm an EP. EP is electrophysiology. So I deal with people who have pacemakers and defibrillators. So they're coming in, they're afraid, they got this new device. So they need to be more aware of what they're feeling.
I like how you do, you talked about alternative medicine, and especially with EP. I really think that a lot of anxiety, like mental things, play a part in some of the conditions that people have. And so I like how you said that even though you have the medicines and the pills, sometimes you just need to learn how to take care of yourself. Like music to me is a great therapy. Like, you know, sometimes I'm feeling sad, I need to change my mood. And I'm like, I really need to change my mood, and I have to be aware of what makes me feel sad, what makes me feel happy. I need to know what music do I need to hear right now. So I think being able to combine those things are great in a, you know, nursing practice.
Do you think that that's going to happen like sometime near in the future? Like maybe that'll be integrated in the hospital?
What, music?
No, like alternative medicine, period.
Well, it's funny that you say that, because when I was working at the Shepherd Center, I was trying to get more people aware of doing massage. And so I mentioned it to the nurses and the physical therapists and the OT, occupational therapists that were working with the patients. And they know to regain some neuro pathways, you have to unblock what's going on. Whether if it's many people in massage think of chi as energy. I think of it more as the way God allows our bodies to heal. So it's still, something's blocked, something needs to be brought back, healed back. So I kept on saying something. Well, then I graduate, I leave. I get an opportunity to come back, and we're working with a patient. And about a week after us doing this together, he was regaining being able to pedal down. Okay, so pedal down. Right now, pedal down like you're trying to go. That is so difficult for a person who's lost that as a spinal cord injury patient, and how exciting it is to be able to have that control. So we worked with him some more. They extended his care at the Shepherd Center. And by Christmas, he was able to walk and get back on his boat.
Wow.
So that right there, and now I know they've introduced more of that into patient care in that setting. Now, do we want to see it in our hospitals? Yeah, that'd be nice.
Music,
that'd be nice.
massage,
especially, yes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, even in your office when you talk to your patients, I know when we first went into nursing, we're not that old, but we're old. When we first went into nursing, you weren't supposed to have your cell phone with you.
Right.
You weren't supposed to have radios. You weren't supposed to have
Right.
all this stuff. And
Yeah.
now, like, the doctors get mad at us when they can't reach us on our cells. So a lot of times, depending on my mood, I know I love to play a lot of the summer oldies or some jazz music and stuff like that. Especially for if I know I have a lot of older clients coming in, or excuse me, older patients coming in. They connect to that music, and once they come in, even with blood pressure, they come in and they're nervous, but then they hear a song, and that literally, just totally. And when they leave, they're so much more relaxed. Their blood pressure's down. They have a better understanding how to take care of themselves. They leave in a better mood. Because they need to. Because they're already stressed out as it is. But so do that now. Keep it low in your pocket, you know. If you can get away with it. Have it playing in your room if you have them coming into a room. So that's good. Manual therapy is always good that they can do from home. And that's just basic stretching. You know, one of the easiest stretches that we can do as nurses, but then as people in general, everything we do is out here. We drive, we type, we're on the phone, you know. It just, and then someone's trying to talk to you and you're trying to get things. Okay, so you're like making your body like contorted. You're becoming a contortionist. But one of the things that we can do, just at home, brushing your teeth, you can go up against a wall
Mhm.
and you know, put this part of your arm up against the wall and then you lean into it, and what you're doing is you're stretching all of this out, which is pulling all of this out here. So instead of your shoulders being like this, now you're more relaxed in the back.
I feel like my shoulders are always like that.
Yeah, so you can do that while you're brushing your teeth. And then if you're not very good at brushing your teeth with your left hand, it makes it really interesting. And believe it or not, you're training your brain to do something new. You know, you can do this side and brush your teeth, you know, or mouthwash if you get it up your nose. It doesn't feel good. And this is where I say I used to be a clown. No.
She used to be everything. I thought I had a lot of jobs.
Right.
I have had a lot of jobs, but hey, that's, you know what, nurses, that's what you get. We all got different ingredients.
Yes,
Many hats.
indeed.
Many
And where I may be weak, I know someone who is stronger, and I'll be like, you know what? I don't know that answer, but hey,
You know somebody does.
let me get my person for you.
Yeah,
And
we have to work together.
It's true.
yeah, it's all a big family, and I love one of the things that I do like to see sometimes. It comes in a coffee mug and it says, "Do you want to talk to the doctor or the one who knows what's going on behind him?" You know, we love our doctors, but at the same time, sometimes we get to see a whole lot more, and they do depend on us. So don't feel like a doctor is gonna like talk down to you. Just stand your ground respectfully. And just be like, yeah, I'm here to be the advocate for my patient, and they're your patient too. So let's do this together.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you so much, Jessica. You really blessed our show today.
Yes.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
And so if you could say one thing to nurses or someone who's thinking of getting into nursing, since you've had such an interesting journey, or who's frustrated or nervous, what would you say to them?
If you really have a love and a passion to help people, and you don't know where you want to be in nursing, it's everywhere. You can be an educator, and we need great educators to help students really get and understand what they need to do. You can be a patient educator for like diabetes or heart disease or pediatrics. You know, you can go into anything there. You can be a home health nurse. You can be that relief person for the family member who is just so tired of taking care of their family, and they really don't know what they need to do. And you're that piece of sunshine that comes in on a cloudy day to help them that. So figure out what you want, figure out what you want to do, and just go for it and stick with it. Be tenacious. That's a fancy word. Just be tenacious. Keep going. It only took me 10 years or so. But yeah,
it was worth it.
It was definitely worth it. It's definitely worth it. So.
Well, that's some good words.
Yes. Well, thanks for joining us, Jessica. You definitely showed and are
be nurse strong.
Yes.
You are definitely nurse strong.
Yes, you took the words out of my mouth, literally.
All right, thank you for joining us. You guys, make sure you hit the subscribe button, comment, like, share so everyone can hear this great message. And thank you again for joining us. Bye.
Bye.